Hi everyone and welcome to the Property Edge Recruitment's live market update for South Australia's property and real estate industry. My name is Peta Seaman and I'm the Managing Director at Edge Recruitment. For our final update of the year, we'll be joined by Edge's Senior Temp Recruitment Consultant, Taryn Widdows, to unpack the trends that have shaped the property recruitment landscape in 2025. And we'll look ahead to what businesses and job seekers can expect from the job market in 2026. We'll also look at the latest employment and wage stats across Australia and South Australia, the results from our latest social media poll, and the latest property and real estate job opportunities across Adelaide. As 2025 draws to a close, South Australia's property sector has experienced one of its most competitive recruitment years yet. Demand for talent has remained strong and expectations from both employers and job seekers has shifted. I'd like to welcome Edge Recruitment's Temp Recruitment Consultant, Taryn Widdows, to look back at the trends that have shaped property recruitment in 2025 and unpack what businesses and job seekers can expect in 2026. Welcome, Taryn.
Hello, thanks, Peter.
Taryn, you've spent the year working closely with clients and candidates across Adelaide's property industry, specialising in government and community housing. Let's explore what you've seen, what's been changing, and what employers and job seekers need to know for the year ahead. What has the property recruitment market been like this year in South Australia?
It's been a steady year with high demand for property professionals across the board, through to project managers for commercial refurbishments and building upgrades, amidst a persistent skills shortage, making it a highly competitive market for employers.
It definitely has been. So what are some of the main trends you've noticed in property recruitment this year?
I've noticed there's been a high demand for specialist roles such as conveyancers and property managers, along with leasing officers and tenancy officers in the community housing space. Trends are focusing on hybrid work, diversity, wellness, and increased salary and benefits to attract talent.
Okay, thank you. 2025 has seen increasing demand for talent, which has led to some unique recruitment challenges. What are the main challenges you've experienced this year?
The main challenges in my space of temp recruitment has been finding suitable applicants available for shorter term roles, as stability is the biggest things that employees are seeking. So they'll always go for a longer term or a permanent role. Also, it's been a challenge as a recruiter sometimes in contacting applicants. We found that sometimes the applicants aren't coming back to us, and that can be a bit of a challenge with the communication sometimes.
That definitely sounds challenging when you can't get people to be able to even have that conversation with. It can make recruitment quite difficult. What changes in employer demands or expectations have you noticed this year?
We've noticed employers are starting to understand that speed to hire is really important in this competitive environment, in securing applicants along with offering flexibility and people skills. Negotiation and soft skills are really important for the culture fit, and that's been really important and in demand by employers.
Great, thank you. Have you seen any changes in how job seekers are approaching the property market?
Job seekers with strong skill sets are being selective about the role and the business. So employer branding and benefits along with salary are key for employers to get right at the start of the employment process so that it's clear what their value proposition is. I'm finding that career opportunity is definitely what many job seekers are choosing if they're weighing up two job offers.
Sure, that makes sense. So they're really selective in the businesses they're going to work for as well. What are the most important things job seekers need to do or need to know to be competitive in the property industry as we head into 2026?
Always have the most up-to-date resume with your most recent role at the top. along with getting in touch with your referees before you put them on your resume. Make sure that you gear your referees to be ready for a phone call so that there's no hold up when it comes to the pointy end of the recruitment process and a job offer is imminent. Just try to make it easy for the employer. And obviously the standard, treat people with courtesy and respect. That's always a great one.
Excellent. Some great tips there, I guess, especially in Adelaide, because everyone knows everyone. So it's good to have yourself prepared and ready to go. Thank you, Taryn. Thank you so much for your time. You've given us some great insights into the trends we've seen in 2025 and what the property job market can expect in 2026. Stay with us. There's still lots more to come in the edition of the Property Edge. Let's move on to the property report.
I'm John 𝗽𝗲𝗿𝗽𝗃, Managing Director of 𝗽𝗲𝗿𝗃 Real Estate. We, started as a very small business, just my wife and I. We've grown pretty exponentially. Last year we were named the best small agency in Australia. And the reason why we were is because of our people. And when we look around the office, most of our people are Edge people. They've come to us. So I could genuinely say that about Edge, that without them helping us grow our business, we wouldn't be able to put together the team that we've got today.
Okay, to start this week's property report, let's look at the latest employment stats. So announced today by the ABS, national unemployment remains steady in November at 4.3%, with participation falling to 66.7%. The underemployment rate jumped from 5.7% to 6.2%, and that news came after the Reserve Bank left interest rates on hold this week at 3.6%. Here in South Australia, unemployment dipped slightly to 4.3%, so in line with the national average, while our participation rate rose slightly to 64.9% and remains the second lowest in the country. The ABS also recently released their wage index, price index for Australia, and it showed that seasonally adjusted wages rose by 0.8% in the September quarter 2025, the same quarterly increase as June this year. Over the last 12 months to September 25, wages increased by 3.4%, matching the annual pace of the previous quarter. Breaking down the sectors, private sector's wages grew by 0.7% in the quarter and 3.2% year on year, so slightly down from the 3.5% as we saw earlier in the year. Public sector wages rose by 0.9% in the quarter and 3.8% over the year, modestly higher than 3.7% annual rise last year. According to media reporting on the release, the annual 3.4% pay rise slightly outpaced consumer inflation, which was around 3.2% for the same period, meaning a small increase in real wages for the average worker. Real wages have finally inched up, with wage growth slightly outpacing inflation, signalling stabilisation in the labour market and easing pressure on workers. What this could mean for the next quarter, wage growth is likely to plateau, with similar or slightly softer increases expected as labour market conditions do cool. So now for some insight and our recent social media polls. When it comes to energy levels throughout the workday, not everyone hits their stride at 9 a.m. Some thrive earlier and others peak later in the day. So we asked our followers when they feel most productive. 47% of our voters said that they get their best work done mid-morning. 27% said they peak early morning and when they're the freshest. 13% said afternoon sees their greatest output, and the remaining 13% said they hit their stride at night. Now, as the year winds down and we head into a very busy event season, the networking opportunities are an enjoyable chance to connect with and grow their network for some people. Yet for others, it can feel like daunting or even downright terrifying. So we asked our followers how comfortable they are with networking. 67% said they will go to all events, but the networking takes effort. 17% say they love it, and the remaining 17% say they avoid networking events altogether. Now let's take a look at the hot jobs this week. This week's hot jobs are presented by Edge Recruitment's new online salary guide to compare your salary against others in your industry. Gain insights into the Australian market and be prepared for your next job interview. Visit Edge Recruitment website for more information. To take a quick look at the jobs we've got at the moment, we have a hybrid property and business development manager. Manage a small portfolio of residential properties and enjoy ongoing training and development at a boutique real estate agency in the hands on full-time permanent employment. Registered conveyancer. This is a fantastic opportunity to manage a varied portfolio of property transactions and work alongside an experienced legal team in a reputable Adelaide practice with a supportive culture and central office location. And the final role is a project manager. This is a great opportunity for an experienced PM to make an impact in your community as a part of a collaborative government team working on important and interesting projects for South Australia. A background in building is essential for this role. These are just some of the jobs available now at Edge. You'll find the links to these jobs and in our comments. All our vacancies and roles can be found at edgerecruit.com.au. That's it for today. So jump onto Edge Recruitment's social media across LinkedIn, Facebook and Instagram if you have anything you'd like to add to the topics we've discussed to stay ahead of the job market and be the first to hear about any new property or real estate job opportunities across Adelaide. Thank you for joining us on the Property Edge. We'll be back soon with the next edition to cover the latest market and employment updates across South Australia. See you soon.